Nobody else is more capable than those within the IIT system to decide what board examination, what marks, what weightage, you know, every aspect of the criterion, the election is entirely left to the system. And that is the fundamental issue that we need to really get across.
Okay, let me just move on to the next part of the debate. Sorry. I am the moderator. Please, please. You will get your chance. I am giving everybody a lot of chance, and we will come back. We will come back.
I did not get the chance because my topic was being.
Professor Indrasen has to leave. That is the reason I just want to move to. Please listen.
This was the point. This was being discussed. Nobody discussed that one exam or three exams. This was the period for that you did not get to speak and nobody spoke about it.
People have spoken about one exam or three exams.
But we are not talking about whether one exam or three exams because last time also.
Okay. Now the next one. Next time I'll start with you, sir. The next one is 40%. The weightage as far as the board exam is concerned. Okay, now this is again a very contentious issue. The basic arguments there have been that the focus has been, on the entrance exam, and therefore school studies have been completely neglected. There is again a social issue here, which is that only 2% people actually get selected. And the 98% of the people who do not get selected have a big problem because they have not concentrated on the school studies and therefore have a very, low marks or just the pass marks of 60% or whatever. Then can the board results really be normalized? Is there a possibility of doing various kind of normalization there or not? One comment which has come is that, there used to be a time when the IITs used to automatically grant admission to the top 10 of any of the board. Why did they do away with it? So those are some of the issues which are there. Perhaps this time we'll start with you, Professor Indrasen.
I tell you why we stopped it. First time the SC students were admitted, 53 students were admitted, and one of them had 0 marks in English, 0 in mathematics, 0 in physics, and also 0 in chemistry. The others who had done very badly, they knew they had done very badly, they had dropped out. But this fellow was so brilliant, he thought he still had a chance. So he wrote 4. There were not enough who had completed all the 4 papers, so he was admitted. And when I found, I was the dean at that time in IIT Delhi, that there was an enormous amount of problem, I finally at the end of the year, I terminated the admission of 47 students, 47 out of 53. Professor Nurul Hasan was the minister, he called me, he said, Professor Saab, aapne kya kiye hain? I said, I wrote a letter to the student, to the parent at the mid-semester examination, at the end of the semester examination, second mid-semester examination, final examination, and also in supplementary examination. They have all done badly. So I think it's better that they go rather than ruin themselves after 5 years. Those days it was 5 years course. Then he went through it and he said, there's Ashok Kumar Chaturvedi. Hey, kaisa aa gaya? We have got a system of admitting the top 10 students. He came from Himachal Pradesh. He did not do well. He would go. And I can tell you, he saved me. Because the minister said, kya lenge? Kafi thing? Cha lenge? Kafi lenge? So the matter is over because he had this character who might be in the top 10% or might not be in the top 10%. We don't know. He might have got some certificate in the top 10%. Top 10
rank.
He got it. So that is the reason why we stopped it. Because the system is so corrupt in our country. It is not possible to...
So then, sir, if it is not possible for us to just look at even the top 10 people, then how can we say that percentile system will work?
So I'll tell you what we used to do at Kar.
No. Percentile system is a statistical system. You are thinking of about 1,000 students in a board. Some students might have come because they paid some money to somebody and so on, but not all. So if you say he's a 90 percentile or 80 percentile, some of them may be only 10 percentile. That doesn't matter because most of them will be in that range. So it's much more reliable than the saying that top 10 ranks or whatever. Top 10 ranks, anybody can pay to the controller of examinations and get the certificate. That's not possible.
And again, does it not lead to, in a way, sort of a quota system, in the sense that it becomes population dependent? If a board has 200,000 people, automatically in the top quartile there will be, if there are 2,000, then if a board has 1,000, it will automatically mean 10.
That is fair enough. The number of students that Mizoram should not be the same as what UP will have. So because UP is a much larger state, number of students are more, so they should have many more. So I don't think that's a very important criteria.
Except that if there is a Delhi board which actually produces better number of people, therefore should it not actually, so therefore are you being unfair to them?
That's why I said you please have a Viva Voce examination. Trust the teachers to select the students. It is their future as well as the future of the students. Then only you get really good quality students. That will happen. Anyway, because I have to leave.
So, but just one question on that, which is, there was a mention of a law. There will be a lot of legal cases that may come up when you have, let's say, based upon Viva Voce. I mean, IIMs have had legal cases. IIT system itself had on the cutoffs and so on. So somebody says, today JEE is absolutely, people say sacrosanct. But if there is any other system which is used of interviews and so on, that may actually come in for.
Even now, all selections in the country for various posts are done by Viva Voce. And they are not interfered by the courts. All the government has to say is that the IITs will select their students by taking into account perhaps some national examination or some percentile score of the high school board and make a short list. Out of the short list, they will interview, say, 2 or 3 students for every candidate that they have, and whatever they decide is a decision. I am sure the court will agree to that. Now, the only fear I have got is one fear. If you have got a common examination, the quality of the examination may have to be reduced. Otherwise, everybody will get only 1% mark, and then they still will have some sort of a rank. That's number one. The second one, my solution is this. Because we are talking about to deal with politicians. Every IIT can give a certain quota for each district. They can say, from the district of Dibrugarh or whatever it is, 7 students joined the IIT in the past 3 years, and therefore your quota is 7. And for somebody else it may be 15. For Delhi it may be 55. Whatever it is. But the question is this, let the district administration select who those 7 will be. Then you find they cannot make too many mistakes, because they make mistakes, their quota will go down next year. So you let this district board select, make their initial selection, it's only one examination, and send their best students. And these are the students, say about 3 times, 4 times, whatever the IITs admit. So out of those 4, you can interview them, you can have an examination for them or whatever it is, and then you make a selection. That will be, I think, a much fairer system than what we have at the present time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. Atul. Okay. Atul. Just one. No, the debate is still going on. Only Professor Indra Sen is leaving. He had to go somewhere. Atul, over to you.
Aspect that
You are considering everything on the basis of the data today available. Let's do some projections.